Hello and welcome, Must Players, to the latest episode of our weekly podcast where we discuss everything gaming, film, tech, frankly anything we want to talk about. Sitting next to me, as he normally is, but he's back from a week's hiatus because he just had a little fingerling, is Fish. How are you, Fish?
I'm good. I'm very good.
Congratulations on being the podcast's newest dad.
Thank you.
You've taken that reign over from Jules. How does it feel?
Well,
just watch it, Fish.
Hey, wait.
I haven't even introduced you yet.
Jules.
It was about to take away the dad title.
Anyway,
You got two kids, man. You're the dad here.
How cool is this, by the way?
Julian is also
was
here.
Jules.
He is going to be chatting to us all things PAX this week, mainly because he was invited onto the main stage to compete in a PUBG tournament. He's even got a little, cast iron pan over there
this is to deflect all the bullets.
to commemorate the event. It was the Red Bull Fight or Flight powered by Omen competition. And Jules, safe to say, did pretty poorly. We'll get to that relatively soon.
Hey.
Poorly.
Look, we've also got to discuss the end of Fortnite as well as the Made by Google event that was held this week where we got a good look at all the new toys coming out from Google. Jules, Fish, just real quick before we dive into the news, you guys been all good this week? Obviously, Fish, you're dealing with a lot at home, so I don't expect you to have been watching or playing all that much.
Oh, actually, I've been watching a lot more than I normally do because I've just been sitting nursing a baby on the couch.
Did I overhear you saying you had a dad hack earlier?
Yes, I did. I feel like I've figured out the real trick to being a dad is if you grab the baby in a certain way that you can still hold a game controller.
Oh, lovely.
And
So good.
so little kid will just be sleeping here, and I'm just. Man, I've been playing some Assassin's Creed. I've been doing all
Wow.
sorts of things, so it's good times.
Yeah, no, I wrote an article for our website over a year ago now when Eliza was born. The hack was to play point-and-click adventure games on my computer,
well, yeah.
just using a mouse.
Because you figured out you were looking for the ones that you could play with one hand.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
Any more dad hacks, get them to us in the comments. We'd love to know exactly how you game when you've got a little bub in your arms. But let's start with PAX, Jules. You were invited on stage to... I mean, you don't play PUBG all that much, but
No,
you were...
so I've only ever played PUBG with Meso.
Okay. Who's back
And we
this
only
week?
played 3 games together, maybe. And I maybe I played a few more here and there, but I'm no PAX expert. But I got to say, I wasn't completely terrible.
I mean, this is the actual vision of you playing.
Okay,
so
this is
clearly
the end of my game.
You've got no bullets
You
right
can
now.
hear it. I've left the volume on, so I didn't realize I had to reload my gun, and I went down hard.
By the way, is there any coming back from this position, or are you done? Like when you're prone?
I think if you have a teammate to revive you, you can. But
Oh, that
So
was over.
was that real?
that was my username.
Was that real time? Like, was that the start of the game to the end? Of
No,
the game?
no. Wait, come on. This was right at the end. See, my team came third out of 6 teams.
Okay.
Not bad.
Okay,
I
so,
mean,
I
like,
didn't
you had a
win.
lot to
All right.
your Fortnite victory.
Anyway, I got this awesome cast iron pan from
you
competing.
go.
Which, by the way, is actually really heavy.
Well, you know
You
what?
can
When they
proper
gave it to
knock
me, they're
someone
like,
out with
and
that.
there's a pan in the too. I'm like, awesome, a pan. I love cast iron pans. I'll cook with it. And they're like, no, it's it's like from PUBG. I'm like, the pans.
Yes.
Pans, the bulletproof pans. But it's pretty cool.
Does it work?
I can imagine so. I don't know
Have
if
you tried shooting it?
There's like a little logo in the middle. I don't know if that'd last on high heat. I guess we can give it a go.
You got to give it a test. Frankly,
Jeff?
I'm upset that we didn't bring a portable burner to really give it a crack, but that's all right. There was plenty else for us to see and do at PAX. To be honest, I'm actually someone that's not... previous years, I haven't been a huge fan of PAX. I normally feel like it comes at a time of the year where E3's already come and gone, like all the big games have been announced.
And we're usually working.
And we're usually working. But this year in particular, it was bonkers. I could not believe how much was there.
It was almost a bit overwhelming. There was so much to see, but almost good luck getting to see anything you really wanted to, unless you put in the time to line up to play the
big
new
lines,
games.
yeah.
Or, like, we walked over to the Luigi's Mansion booth. Awesome setup. We met with the A-listers, Mario and Luigi. Santa got a cool photo.
It
Absolutely.
was. I was jealous.
Hashtag manchild.
Anyway.
No, it was great, but you're exactly right. There were thousands upon thousands of people there. The way they opened the show was amazing. I reckon there was at least 10,000 people packed inside. They had pyrotechnics and all this cool stuff going on. It looked like a rock show.
Have a look on our website, mustplay.net.au. Mark's story from 9 News is up there as well, and you can see all that vision, which is amazing.
Cool cosplay, but they had, I think because a lot of games are coming out early next year that are huge, namely Final Fantasy VII's remake, the new Avengers game, as well as Cyberpunk. There were all these big booths for them, which normally they would not be there at all, let alone actually...
So many previews to games.
Yeah, so look,
but they also went hard on games releasing in the next month or two. Like Luigi mentioned, 3 massive setup. Pokemon Sword and Shield, huge setup there too. Death Stranding had its own area, and you could see the new console they're bringing out as well, and it was a lot.
We were trying to get onto the Hollow Knight Silksong developers because we found that on the floor, but they just disappeared. And I was like, "Give me a call if they come back."
There's some awesome cosplayers though of the Hollow Knight.
Yeah, it was. It was really, really cool. So if you did get a chance to go down to PAX this weekend, let us know in the comments below what you thought. The cosplay was on point this year. There was some
amazing.
really elaborate. I mean, normally we meet people who spend, dozens of hours, if not months, and then thousands of dollars to actually build these costumes themselves. But we met some people who were literally sweating it out in Batman costumes because it was that warm on the weekend. There was a Bayonetta walking around in 10-inch heels that she had been practicing for 3 months to do so. And yeah, just some really, really cool, funky people.
But it was also,
along the
it's
way.
not just like, people, you can't really stereotype this event. Like looking around, there's parents with their kids.
Yeah.
There's so much to do, and I think we're getting to that point where we're really getting away from that stereotype of what gaming is, which is
Well,
great.
that gaming as well as expos, like because you have your supernovas and the pop culture expos as well, which were at one point nerds, but now it's like pop culture is such a big deal, and video games are such a big deal now. It's big money in video games as well.
It
Like
was
all those-
absolutely big money.
All
They
those
were
games
giving
that
away
you-
some expensive stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all those games that you just rattled off that had booths and stuff like that, like each one of those is a big deal. So people are turning out for these things.
In saying that though,
Really-
it was a bit smelly. There
They
were some
always
people
are.
in the crowds.
They always are. I mean,
Deodorant people.
That was the guy sweating it out in the Batman costume, man. Give him a break.
So you're hanging out with all that?
It could have been
Excuse
said.
me, I was there
ramps.
for only a couple of
Rampage.
hours and I was not in the crowd stinking it up.
But
Thank
let's
you
not
very
forget, it isn't just video games. There's tabletop games there as well,
Yeah.
and they brought out the classic arcade games too, which is really cool. All your pinball machines, and
Pinball machines.
they're going really hard on VR as well.
much. The VR section was nowhere near as
bit
over the
disappointing,
top
actually.
as previous years. I think it's sort of in this weird spot VR where, PSVR's been out for quite some time. I know the Oculus is bringing out a whole new suite of tech, but generally speaking, I think we're waiting for the next big wave to come. So that maybe a little bit further down the line. Maybe when PlayStation 5 releases, we get a glimpse of what they're planning on doing there. Now, in terms of probably the biggest gaming news of the week, and definitely in terms of causing the most fuss online and on Twitter and everywhere else, was the fact that Fortnite ended.
What?
I know.
What is everybody gonna do?
This is so awesome that they're doing this as well.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Like out of nowhere, this giant missile shot out of the ground, which looks like just a straight up rocket, and everyone was confused. We knew that the end of season 10 was coming, but even the main streamers like Ninja weren't online for this.
Where was Ninja? I didn't even realize this until Meso just brought it up before.
Well-
Ninja, the biggest Fortnite streamer in the world, was on a plane to some sporting event?
Yeah, makes no sense. He's really stuffed that one up.
So you're saying you actually had to be on the game at this particular time for this to happen?
Yeah,
So you can't, we can't go just watch, we can't
Nah.
live this event.
No. So Fortnite's done
pretty
that a
cool.
couple of really interesting ways of late. Like they had a full concert by the DJ Marshmallow live in the game. You couldn't actually fight. He just did a whole set for like an hour, which was insane.
Pretty cool.
In the
But
actual
this is what obviously happened a couple of nights ago. The meteor comes down, it interacts with what looks like some sort of nuclear fission reaction.
There's some great reactions online as well. People just going, "What the heck is happening? Oh my god!"
Yeah. As you can imagine, they lose their minds. turns into a black hole, and Fortnite essentially went dead for 24 hours, which Meso was very accurately pointing out is probably just an excuse for them to reload their servers
Server maintenance.
kick people out, and so they can upload the new map, which we know is coming. They're going to be able to swim. You're going to be able to use speedboats.
Fishing.
Out now.
Yeah, I saw the fishing
Oh, yeah,
thing.
it is out now.
It is out now.
You can
yeah.
go fishing.
I liked the note for that. For those who want to relax in the game, you can go fishing.
Yeah.
Why are you relaxing?
Hey, was
Yeah.
Meso, you'll know, was the goo character? Could you be the goo character previously?
It's the goo character.
He looks like a weird ectoplasm,
Oh, the bloke that was like a man.
a blob.
Yeah,
blob,
no,
blob man.
I reckon you could be
Oh,
Blob
okay.
I
Man.
don't know. I just remember I had a pickaxe.
He seems like a
Yes.
He seems like
Pickaxe.
an actual character that people were determined to see back in the trailer, I think. We did want to just quickly mention that parents are suing Fortnite, Jules.
There are a couple of parents suing Fortnite for addiction purposes. Just have a better control of your children.
Yeah, and
You
a sense
cannot-
of humour.
Oh, we're getting
And
a
a
call.
sense of humour. And also, Lady Gaga made a little bit of a fool of herself, basically saying that... she went on to Twitter asking what is a fortnight and was just trolled in the most amazing way.
She was.
If you want to check that out, just search Fortnite.
And we've just had a caller come through, Luke Lancaster, who's the content director from PAX. Hi, Luke.
Hi, how are you doing, Julian?
Hi, good, thanks. I'm here with Mark and Fish, and you're on the Must Play podcast. Thank you so much for calling.
Just
Thank you
quickly,
for having me.
Meso, that is not our interviewee, so let's just keep that photo off the screen. Sorry, we were trying to lock
Sorry,
down...
Luke, really last minute. We just wanted to quickly chat to you about PAX and what the wash-up was. Like, how are you feeling of the event? Is it everything that you imagined?
I am ecstatic with how PAX turned out. How I'm feeling personally is incredibly tired, but I think I think that's the way after 3 huge days of gaming down in Melbourne.
Now, I've got to ask, I mean, we heard that you were looking for... We knew it was going to be tens of thousands of people, but particularly on that opening day on the Saturday where you had what looked like a sea of gamers all packed into that massive exhibition hall. The pyrotechnics went off and then everyone filed inside. I mean, do you have an actual figure? How big did we get this year?
Yeah, across the 3 days, we were about 80,000 people, which is
wow.
the biggest one that's ever happened down in Australia. Yeah, it's huge. The number we like to throw around is as big as a state of origin.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you put it in that perspective. You could basically fill the MCG or ANZ Stadium. It's insane. I mean, we were just talking, and Fish, I know you're focused on a lot of the big games, but there was plenty there for players. I mean, a lot of the time at PAX, going hands-on with some of these games sometimes feels as though, you know, we're a couple of months behind E3, but with so many big titles arriving early next year, to have, you know, not just Death Stranding, which comes out next month, but also Final Fantasy VII, the new Avengers game, and even Cyberpunk, it really was an exciting atmosphere. It almost felt like E3 in Melbourne.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously we get a lot of flow on from E3 every year, but kind of where we are in the lead up to Christmas means we get a lot of that end of year, early 2020 kind of promotion, which is fantastic. Expo Hall is absolutely pumping, but again, it's just like such a small component of the show overall. You know, we've got the panels, we've got the free play areas. It's as much a community show as it is a big expo, and that's really awesome. I think that's why we get all those people coming out to Melbourne for the show.
Absolutely. Look, I thought it was great. Was there any area, I mean, you mentioned a couple there, which you felt got so much bigger this year, something that's not necessarily at centre stage, like the PUBG tournament that Jules had to play in, but we were just seeing some fantastic things, like even late at night. It was going until 11 o'clock sometimes. You were having Mortal Kombat tournaments and all the rest. I mean, was there anything that was small that maybe hasn't been a focus in previous years that really stood out to you this year?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think something we've done for the past few years, we've done like a stage that's just speed running. People kind of playing through games as fast as possible and like exploiting glitches and secrets and shortcuts to kind of set records on fastest completion times. And we had a new area for that this year out in kind of a big public foyer, and that was just standing room only most of the weekend. That was really awesome because that's a very community-driven initiative, and just seeing people hang out and engage with that and watch that stuff going wild when people kind of finish games, that was really, really awesome.
And I know as well there are a lot of people doing charity stuff as well amidst all the mayhem of PAX that were doing 24-hour streams and all the rest to raise some money. So obviously some good news stories there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So we partnered up with Generosity, who do a lot with local streamers, content creators, and we raised $40,000 for Cure Cancer, which is astounding.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. I think one of our editors at Channel 9 was actually involved in that, Callan, so shout out to you, Cal. Great work by everyone there on Game Train Podcast. Luke, before we let you go, and by the way, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, is there anything that is, I suppose, that's sticking in your mind about PAX this year? I mean, we know it's going to be huge in 2020, or we hope it will at least. But, I mean, for me, I think it was, like you mentioned, the community. It was amazing to see so many gamers from all demographics come out, and, of course, the cosplayers once more.
Yeah, absolutely. I think some of the best advice I ever got when it came to PAX is make sure there's Easter eggs, make sure there's little games for people to discover, ways for people to find each other and make new friends. And that's absolutely what we try to do. We just try to make it a show that feels like home for people who come every year.
We absolutely loved it. And yes, I loved that pocket of indie developers, particularly the ones that had the pink branding on it, made in Victoria, so that we could go out.
We hunted them all down.
We did. We hunted them all down because we want to get them on this podcast, not so that we can just have some interesting people to speak to, but also big up the great work that they're doing right here in our very city, Luke. Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for calling into Busplay.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Luke.
See you, Luke.
Bye.
So, yeah. PAX, again, is just going from strength to strength.
80,000 people.
That's a crazy figure. They did predict, between 70 and 80. So to know that they actually hit 80 was pretty bloody
New
special.
record, too. So I can imagine only next year's going to be bigger.
Yes, you would think so. Yeah. Now, during the week, we also got a look at some really new tech. We know that there's been a lot coming out in the space of phones lately, but Google hosted its Made by Google event, where it unveiled the new Pixel 4 as well as the XL. Now, I don't know if you've ever had a Google phone, either of you two.
iPhone all the way.
But I'm kind of leaning towards it, to be honest.
It sounded pretty cool from what we were watching before.
I got to say as well, it's a lot cheaper than the iPhone and the Samsungs as well. I know that sounds like not an immediate consideration when it comes to the top of the line smartphones these days, because people literally just want the newest iPhone or they just want the newest Galaxy. But not only are the cameras new and improved in these Pixels, I mean, they're showing it right now. They're going to have the dual lenses to improve portrait mode, as well as night mode and all the rest. The actual price point is less than, I think it's about $1,400 even for the XL, which when you compare it to
$2,500 if you want the XL iPhone.
Exactly. It's an insane amount of money. And of course, this is going to have radar in it. It's the first phone ever to use
Which I still don't
technology.
quite understand.
It's going to have radar.
mean?
Well, basically, not only will it will sort of help with the face unlock. You know, when you try to use your face unlock on your iPhone, how it only works in portrait mode. This works in every single angle, which is really
They claim
handy.
it's the fastest face unlock on any mobile device.
Yes,
mobile device. So
We
I had to
still
say it
don't
like
know
that.
what that means for security. We know that
Yeah.
face unlock isn't the safest way to unlock your phone, regardless of brand. But it's also going to integrate radar so that swipe actions and, I suppose, motion control for phones.
Yeah, I liked the motion control idea of it. There was one thing we were watching before where it powers down when you move away from the phone.
Yeah.
Which, that's great. Like,
It can tell when you're in the room.
yeah, it knows where you are all the time.
Well, it's just like the Google Assistant. I've got one of them at home now. We use it for everything. Like I've been like, hey Google, add this to my shopping list.
Well, speaking of Google, they did actually announce a couple of new additions to their home. I mean, we'll keep chatting about the Pixel while it's on screen. I just wanted to get the pricing 100% right while I'm here. It looks as though you can get they're going to be releasing on the 24th of October, which is later next week. You can get the Pixel 4, the 64GB model, for $1,049, which is pretty reasonable, and the 4XL for $1,279, so even cheaper than what I
What's
thought.
the storage?
That's 64 gig as well. But to be honest, in
all
an
the
era
cloud
where
anyway.
we've got the cloud, you don't actually need all that much.
Yeah, I have
on your
not run
phone.
out of space on my phone ever.
Although, how big is
Since-
your phone?
Not that big.
Yeah, I think mine is 264
64 maybe.
I've got
gigabyte.
128 and I
264
love it.
But yeah, I've got everything just goes on the cloud. I mean, people have security concerns over that whole thing, but to be
Yeah.
honest,
I don't really use the cloud.
people can look at my shit if they want. They're like, oh look,
See the
4,000
pictures of
photos
my
of
kids?
this
Here we go.
child, and
Now, apart from the phones, which are, of course, probably the biggest selling point of the event, they also announced a couple of other things, namely the Pixel Buds, which are their new earbuds.
Don't know if I like them.
I actually don't mind them. I think they look more sporty.
They're very similar to the new Microsoft ones in terms of the shape.
No.
Although these look a bit more- let me
How
finish.
dare you compare it to the Microsoft
round,
one?
very round.
They're rounder, but they're not as obtrusive as the Microsoft ones.
And how's the case they're going as well? It's very AirPods.
It is very AirPods, but that's cool. I don't mind that. They also announced that Google Stadia will officially be launching on November 19. That is, of course, for the US, not for us here in Australia.
Not until we get a whole new internet system.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. That'll be a little bit.
We're
further
never
down.
getting Google Stadia.
Now, they also
Maybe
announced
Google Stadia too.
the Google Pixel Book Go.
That's another really thin,
Really thin laptop.
much
The
like
Nest,
the Microsoft one we spoke about last week as
yes.
well.
The Nest Mini, which, weird one, the smart speaker fabric is all now made out of 100% recycled plastic bottles.
The fabric.
Who knew? And they've also announced a couple more intelligent Google Nest AI features that are basically CCTV cameras for your home. They can do a lot by way of AI detection and monitoring. So there's subscription services around that, including stuff like letting you know when your smoke alarm or something like that goes off as well. So pretty interesting stuff from Google. Obviously, I don't know if the CCTV stuff and the Pixel event should have been combined. I think they're for
strange,
two
yeah.
very different audiences.
Yeah.
But it was really cool seeing the Wi-Fi update as well. I actually really like the Google Mesh technology that they've got with their Wi-Fi routers. So, yeah, I'm all for it. I'm actually going to get a Pixel in from Google tomorrow to test out and review. So I'll give that to you next week.
Look forward to that.
And yeah, that's basically all it's a very, very quick wrap up of everything that happened at Made by Google.
Cool. Well, I am leaning on Google. Now, before we move into our other things we want to talk about today, we've got a bit of a giveaway.
We do have a giveaway.
So I'm gonna show you what we've got to give away.
From our friends at Disney again. Last week we gave away 5 double passes to go and see Maleficent, which comes out in theatres, I think it's
Today.
Yep, today.
Sensational, and that's what it's going to be. If you can't see, Jules, you might want to hold that a bit closer to the camera.
Well, people get the
Yeah.
gist. So
It's
we have a Toy Story 4 prize packs to give away. We've got 3 of them.
Yes, 3 packs.
Incredibly.
They will come with a whole suite of interesting and cool stuff.
Get all this out.
Namely, a dual disc Blu-ray in each of the sets. We will also have what looks like a
This is a pencil case,
pencil case.
but it's got pencils, a sharpener, all accessories for your drawing and school needs, maybe? School needs?
Yes.
These things, I love this thing. It's a little travel pack, like you put your toothbrush in there and stuff, but it comes with eye
That
masks.
looks like a pencil case, and that looks like a travel pack. I don't think you understand what is what here.
I know, because
you-
I had a look.
No,
I know.
I
Because I have it
genuinely
at
don't
home
think
right
you
now.
know. That's a pencil case.
This is not a pencil case. That's a pencil case.
Jules, I'm a 27-year-old man. I know what a pencil case looks like, and that is a pencil case.
No, so look, Ducky and Bunny, little travel bag. Okay. And look at these.
Yes.
Little eye masks.
Look, there is pencils,
pencils
and a
in the-
sharpener
there's
in
pencils
here.
in the travel
That's
case.
irrelevant.
There's pencils in the
I'm
travel
telling
case.
you, that is a pencil case. And this is
So
the
we've got that. We have Toy Story 4 stress balls that also come with it. And,
I might need one of those stress balls
there's-
right now.
Yeah, give him a stress ball.
And then finally,
The fabric of my reality has been shaken.
I better open this too. So you can get a good look. I kind of want to win this one.
Yeah. And we've got some cool hoodies to give away as well. We've got to show, of course, we've got to show it. What do you think this is? Some amateur program?
Do 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 do.
And there's a hood there too. With a little blue inning.
Oh.
I don't want
Good
to
finish.
harp on this, and I don't even know if you can hear me. From
What? What are you doing? Are you
But-
still going on about...
here. This is a pencil case.
Show the top. There you go.
It's flat.
Oh, look
It
at
has a
the.
zip.
It has a
On the
waterproof...
inside.
No,
the
it
inside
has a
is
waterproof
cushioned.
lining.
Check out the inside. Show the people the inside there. Like that's. You don't need that for a pencil
This
case.
is a weird looking pencil
That's for a
case.
toothbrush.
I wouldn't be able to fit any of my
Your hairspray won't fit in
This
there.
is much more practical. So much more practical. Anyway, stay on our Facebook page. We'll announce how you can win that later tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, please, if you want to win.
I've been insulted, so Fish, you can take over the rest of the show. Do you want to just quickly run through some of the extra?
Can someone, okay, Werner or Matt or someone tell us, what do you think? Is that a pencil case or is this a pencil case?
Somebody tell us.
I think they need a closer look at this to understand. I think if it wasn't for the
Well, go on.
pencils. Yeah. All right, we're modelling the next pen. Real quick. All right, so it's
Amy, just to be
three-dimensional.
clear, do you want this pencil case or Santo's pencil case?
It's three-dimensional.
It's three-dimensional.
It's,
It's a-
it has spots to put your pencils.
It does. It has spots.
Like, I will.
Or you can use that for like a nail clipper.
A really thin
Tweezer.
toothbrush.
Yeah, mini toothbrush. You never know. Maybe get some floss you want to roll up and put in there. And it does come with the sharpener and the pencils as well as an eraser, which I will admit is hurting my argument, but that's fine. I think.
Like I will agree
that
with
there.
you though
Pop that
that does look like it should be the shape of a travel pack.
What?
Like I feel.
Who are you?
I have a travel pack that looks like that, but that is also that does look
can't
like
even
a
see it
pencil
right
case.
now, but that's fine.
But the insulated insides is what gives it away.
All right. Great prize pack from Disney. Thank you very much. We've got 3 to give away, so stay tuned on our Facebook page. And we'll announce some winners next week.
All right, we're going to run through
right.
some really quick news. We've got a couple of dot points here. Let's run through one each.
Cool.
Really quickly, starting with you, Jules.
So there's this new upgrade to the NanoLeaf technology. So basically, you've probably seen these around. There's these plates. They're about like this big. People have them like above their TVs, above their computers, and they basically reflect the light from what's imaged on your monitor to kind of give you a more immersive effect in your room. But now the upgraded technology will essentially mirror your screen entirely, and it'll be like you're watching your game or your movie on your wall, but the pixels are this big. So it's really changing the colors of these new pads.
All right, I look forward to seeing that.
I'll have to look into that.
You, Dave?
Donald Trump has created a Twitch channel.
Do we know what he's streaming yet?
I was just going to
He's
say,
going to be
actually
streaming all
gaming?
his rallies on Twitch.
Oh,
Oh, and Fortnite.
the end of Fortnite.
Potentially.
I think that's a to come thing.
Trump
when
ended
the election
Fortnite.
heats up, he's going to be all over Twitch.
Eddie Murphy is out, and Robert Downey Jr. is in as Dr. Dolittle, if you were wondering what he was going to do after leaving the MCU as Iron Man.
Interesting choice.
Very interesting.
I'm not so sure about it, to be honest.
I mean, he is
was
pretty
always-
versatile. I mean,
like-
we can't just tie him down to Avengers forever.
Well, like he did Sherlock Holmes and killed that as well. So I know he can kill it, but like I don't know. It
Oh,
just
I
seems
thought you
a-
meant like he ruined the franchise, not.
Well,
not he
Eddie
did
Murphy
really
is Doctor Dolittle to me, man. It's hard to
Absolutely.
To go past
Dr.
that.
Dolittle was a book before it was a movie, wasn't it?
I
pretty
believe
sure
it was like
this
maybe
one's
a
this
I
one
think it's a
seems
kid's
very
cartoon.
dark.
It's very old school.
It seems like they're going in a complete different direction to the Eddie Murphy Dr. Dolittle.
All right, next headline.
Well, do you want to read this one out?
Huh?
It's your turn.
What are you talking about? I just did the Robert Downey Jr. one, and then you waffled on about it for 3 minutes.
I got excited. I thought you'd want to talk about this one. He's Spidey's your jam.
No.
Spider-Man is probably going to be in a Venom movie. Says the director of Venom. We don't know in what capacity. We don't even know if it's going to be Tom Holland.
The original Venom director, the director of Zombieland, said that. So it's not even the new one.
Speaking of
Venom
Zombieland,
2.
the second one's out this week.
Oh yes, we should go see it. I'm very excited because, as I always whinge about, I want to see more pure Spider-Man stuff, and it sounds like that Tom Holland might be coming and into the Sony universe or whatever it is. But in other great news, murder mystery.
In other great
the
news.
Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston juggernaut that was the biggest viewed movie over a weekend on Netflix. I think it had 72 million people watch it in
I
one
watched
weekend. I loved it. I actually really liked it. It's getting a sequel.
Can I just quickly, because have we discussed this film on this podcast before?
I think we
have.
vaguely did, yeah.
Because the
do you wanna
ending
say?
of that movie was terrible. Because the
Have we said what the
entire
movie
film is set up.
Murder mystery.
Yeah, murder mystery. The entire film is set up to have Adam Sandler as this neglectful husband who hasn't cared about his wife or what she likes for the first 10 years of their marriage, and she's been bugging him, I want to go to Europe, I want to go to Europe, I want to go to Europe. She loves reading murder mystery books. He takes her to Europe, and they end up in a real-life murder mystery.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of having that being something that he's set up, right, over this elaborate 10 years of neglecting her so that she could have this one amazing holiday where she got involved in a passion of hers, it just sort of ended. And I'm like, oh, so all that ridiculous stuff, which would have made sense if it was a setup, and they had
actually
actors
happened.
playing these things
But I
had
think that's
actually
the
happened.
point. I think that's the point, that it was like, it's so
I understand what you're
ridiculous that they
saying,
just
but-
fell into it. I know what you're saying too.
anyway,
Maybe
it cost a lot of money
that's
to
the
do that.
sequel. Maybe he's like, we had such a good time last year.
Oh, yeah,
I
maybe
thought
that
I'd
is
set
the-
this up for you.
The end of the second one is the whole
The
thing.
whole thing,
2
yeah.
movies.
Watch
was a
this
setup.
space. Santo might be right.
Can I
with
just
that
quickly say, Santo, that ain't a pencil case, says Matt. But then Aiden says that he's with you.
one. Oy.
And then Werner just says it already has stationery in it. Yes, pointing out the obvious, Werner. We just want to make sure.
Because he says it's a pencil case.
Yeah, but which one?
The pencil case.
Yeah, the pencil case.
The pencil,
Absolutely.
the one that is the pencil case.
Anyway, and really the biggest news of the week in terms of Netflix, forget about Adam Sandler's movie, is that the Breaking Bad film came out, El Camino.
Oh, it was really, really good.
I still need
I think you said just before we started the show, it's not something we needed or really were asking for, but it was really nice. I know you haven't watched it yet.
No, I haven't, but I've heard that it wraps up really well. Meso, you were saying that you felt really complete after.
Yeah, it
that's
was
huge.
nice. It was nice to have a finish.
Because Breaking Bad is such a great show, for them to like just to tack something on would feel really cheap. So I'm glad it doesn't feel that way.
I'm
very excited to
amazed,
watch it.
even though as a movie, and it's a long film, like I think it goes for a bit over 2 hours, it felt like it was just an extra continuation of the show. It didn't feel like a separate thing at all. It's almost like they just had an extended episode right at the end. So I was
what
really
I thought
impressed.
was interesting is because obviously they had to refer to the show throughout the film, and they have gone back and tried to shoot extra moments. And some of them, I got to say, Todd's put on a few.
Todd.
Todd,
That's-
How creepy is he though?
Which one is it?
Todd, he's the
Oh, he puts him in the pit.
Oh, yeah, he has put on a few kilos.
yeah.
But that's all right.
But it was still a really
a
good
few
movie.
years
So
ago.
if you're a fan of Breaking Bad,
Haven't we all?
Mate, I'm not going to fat shame Todd on this podcast.
No,
That's not what we're about.
Todd-
We're supportive.
actor Todd Guy, don't know who you are. I probably should know. I'm just saying it's just in context to going back in time and looking at him, you know, how he was supposed to be at that time.
Well, if you're talking continuity as well, it's based almost as the show ended, right? So it's like it should be. Yeah,
Yeah, he
Well,
has
I
chunked it.
understand.
But it's been 6 years.
I
So
understand.
I completely
what you're
understand,
saying.
mate.
It's-
He's chunked
you
up.
do you,
Jesse Plemons. Mate,
What else is he
your
in?
body's a lemon. Plemon.
Oh, now we're fat shaming. Jeez.
Oi.
Just after you said we weren't going to.
Yeah, but his name is Plemons, and I had to make a fun pun.
You had to go with it.
Beck says continuity is key.
With pencil cases or with fat shaming? I'm so confused, Beck. We need more context. And real quick, look, what have we been playing this week? Jules, you got a couple of things down here under your name.
Yeah, I finally finished Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Academy on my Switch, which was kind of nice because I'm going into the new Star Wars game that's coming out next month, and it was nice to kind of play an old one just before this new one comes out, so I can really compare the two.
Yeah.
So
I think it's going to be a little better.
there's
Just marginally better on a graphical front.
graphics, yes,
Marginally,
but I hope
marginally.
it's a better game because our cast was awesome. And I've been playing Borderlands 3 quite a bit. It's actually a really good game. Anyway, that's me.
How about you, Fishy?
Well, as I said, I've been on the couch quite a bit with my bubba, and I've been playing. I've gone back to and just busted out a bunch of my old games
Yep.
that I just sort of hadn't really played much, and I've been playing Assassin's Creed Syndicate, the one that's
Ooh.
set in London, and I'm really enjoying it.
You know, it's a good
lot
game.
of fun. Yeah.
No grind either, like the latest Assassin's Creed.
No,
so
it
that's
didn't.
nice.
It doesn't feel like it. So, and it's an easy one you can just sort of pick up and go with. And I'm also still running with my Halloween October horror movie challenge.
Yeah.
I'm up to 17 movies.
You've
It's a
watched 17 movies.
I've actually watched 18. I've got one ready for tomorrow.
I watched a horror movie
What'd you
on
watch?
Netflix, Into the Tall Grass.
Yeah, I watched that the other day. I quite liked. I liked it.
No, I hated it.
Wow, you hated it?
I didn't like it.
I loved it. I thought it was a great premise.
Watch
But
it.
I did watch another Netflix movie that just came out the other day called Fractured with Sam Worthington in it, and that is fantastic. It's all about this guy loses his family when he takes them into an ER at a hospital. And
Is that also Netflix?
yes, it just
When
came
you say
out.
I just
loses-
added it to my list.
Yeah, please watch it.
Like they die, or he just gets
He just no,
misplaced?
they get taken away to do a CAT scan or something,
Yeah.
and then like he's asking where are they? He's been waiting for them, and
Ah.
they've just disappeared. And it's really well done. I highly recommend.
All right.
Can I just quickly say, Aiden says apparently Todd had to gain weight for a movie role.
According to the...
Santo is sorry for fat shaming you.
I didn't even start it. You did. I just piled on.
You
like him.
Whoa. I just did what he did.
And real quick, during the week, in fact on Friday night, I went along to the Airport West Cinema, which was an atrocious viewing experience, I must say. There wasn't even somebody at the stair where you walk in to get your tickets ripped. So I'm
could've
pretty
just
sure
walked
there were
straight
just...
through.
I felt like I spent $50 for nothing on these
could've
4
just walked
tickets.
in, yeah.
Got some of the worst popcorn of my life. I don't know what it is with Village and Hoyts at the moment. They're not popping their popcorn fresh. They're
gosh.
popping it off-site and
they
bringing
keep
it in.
Yeah. It's,
Are they really?
It's
Yeah.
bad. So it's all like stale.
It was
Yeah,
terrible.
it's not good.
I got to like halfway through my popcorn and it was nothing but like broken
Kernels.
itty bitty bits. Not even
Oh,
kernels.
Not even kernels.
Not even kernels. And then I got through that shit part and there was more like proper popcorn underneath. But I don't know how they've layered this thing. It was atrocious.
Good popcorn,
Should
shit
work its way
popcorn.
to the
Good
bottom.
popcorn.
Yeah, basically.
There's some guy grabbing handfuls
What did you
of
see?
each.
We saw the Joker.
Yes, the Joker.
Which we had to, which is the reason why we got Heath looming so ominously over your shoulder with no explanation throughout the entire show.
fine.
You've seen it?
I haven't.
I've seen
You
it.
haven't? You've seen
I've
it.
seen it. I had a better viewing. I watched it in 70mm.
No, I might go
The
tonight.
sun. I loved it.
Yeah, it's a bloody
I
good film.
loved it. It's an absolute fantastic film.
It's like, I know we can't spoil it for Jules, but
And
even
people
just
at home.
knowing what it is as like a much darker and more mental illness take
Yeah.
on a much more of a mental illness take
Yeah.
on the Joker. It was sort of what I expected out of the film.
Yeah.
That's not to say that I didn't. It didn't detract from the film at all because I was expecting a lot of the things that I suppose we saw. I was really interested to see how they brought it together from a cinematography standpoint. I thought it was shot really well.
Fantastic.
I thought the music was great, particularly when he was having those moments where he was going a little bit crazier. You could just feel him on the verge of snapping. I
Yeah.
thought they played with that really, really well. And yeah, it does leave you asking questions about how we're contributing to the creation of these monsters. In our own
Absolutely. Well,
society.
that's the thing. Like, it's
Yeah, I'm with you. Werner's like la 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 la.
well, yeah, we're not spoiling anything, but what the movie is being sold as is how this guy becomes Joker, right?
Yeah,
and
what
that's-
makes him snap,
That's what's
which is
happening,
what
and
I
I love watching the spiral, like because he cops it in
Yeah,
this
he
movie.
does.
Like it's like you're talking about piling it on. This guy, it just gets piled on. He just doesn't get a
is it
break.
to the point where you feel sorry for him?
Absolutely, like you absolutely sympathise with him. I feel.
Yeah, initially, but then, he sort of goes beyond what is.
He becomes the Joker.
But you also, the thing that makes a great villain is when you can sympathize with them, right? And I really feel that you understand why he's gone this far because he copped it so much. And, in the end, it's just, to me, it was so satisfying. I was just like, I walked out of it, and I honestly, I don't think I've seen a movie that's had that sort of an impact on me in
I
a
really wanna see
long
it.
time.
It's very much worth going to see if you haven't already. Would definitely recommend it. Don't go if you're somebody that doesn't like, I suppose, those mental health, the depressing aspects of it.
Like
they
it is
really-
a depressing film.
Yeah,
it's a
go
hard film.
Yeah.
Like it's a hard, not a hard watch, but it takes on some big things.
So what do you rate it?
It's 5 stars. It's good.
I give it 4.5. I think it was a bit long.
So you're a must watch.
I didn't think it was that long, to be honest.
I think as things start wrapping up, I was starting to lose my focus on it. I'm like, all right, okay, this guy's copping it. Let's move on. But
There
then
is
it just
there is
slaps
a
you in the
lot.
face.
There
Like,
is
yeah.
a lot before he becomes the Joker.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
there's a
yeah.
solid, I reckon,
Yeah.
3/4 of the film.
4.5 there. Solid.
Yeah, it's really, really
So the only thing that's letting you down is that it just took a bit too long to get to the point.
Yeah,
Well,
I
they-
guess.
they-
I guess. I think, yeah.
And also, just like some of the dialogue's really on the nose.
Yeah.
Like when the kids are beating him up, and they're like, "Let's beat him up, keep
on,
beating
get
him,
him, get
keep
him."
kicking him." It's like, mate, who wrote that dialogue?
Yeah. It was directed by the guy who did The Hangover.
You're
Todd
kidding
Phillips.
me.
Yeah. Yeah, Todd Phillips.
I didn't know he did the Hangover.
This fantastic director, like comedy director, came and did this. And it just goes to show the duality of comedy and I guess drama like this.
Yeah,
One more thing
we've
for-
already seen that in horror with Us and
Peel. Jordan Peele.
Before we wrap up, did any of you guys watch the Between Two Ferns movie on Netflix?
no, not yet.
watched it, yeah.
It's sitting there.
I
Have
actually
you?
forgot it was there.
Yeah, when you said The Hangover, it just made me think about it again. It's what it is.
It is what it is. All right. Keep up to date with all things Must Play across our socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're also at mustplay.net.au. It feels
It's
like a
really
weapon.
heavy.
Yeah, I know. I kind of want to.
really
You could
knock
kill
someone
someone with
out.
that.
I'm just going to hold this, and every time you say something on the podcast
Oh
I
my
don't like, I'm just going to take you out. We really love having you join in to watch us, particularly on a Thursday night. This is going to be our new permanent time slot, Thursdays at 8 o'clock. Tune in throughout the week to work out how you can win those Toy Story 4 prize packs. We will be giving them away live on next week's show.
And
Until
thanks so
then,
much for Luke Lancaster for calling in.
Absolutely. Thank you, Luke, and thank you for watching, and good night.